Hi everybody, this is the OMAD Dad, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle, or eating one meal a day. Well, today I want to talk more about some basic core key concepts in the OMAD way of eating and the OMAD way of life. And I wanted to talk about why OMAD works and why it works so well. It's so much better than any other fad diet or any other fad scheme of the day. We're going to go over some key components here as to why it works. There are three main components, and we're going to talk about it in the context of weight loss. When you're intermittent fasting and you're on your one meal, when you're not eating, there's a lot of things that are going on in your body, and it would be too long of a video if we discussed everything. In the future, I do plan on discussing some more things, mainly talking about like autophagy, for example, which is what happens when you're fasting. But for today, I want to talk about the three main things that make OMAD work so well in the context of weight loss. And this is something I feel that everybody really should know. You should know why you're doing this. You should know why you're doing anything. But not only for your own knowledge, just to get you an idea of why I've chosen this, why many people have chosen this way of eating. But also, too, you're going to meet a lot of naysayers along the path who are going to tell you and try and steer you away from saying, no, it's dangerous, or, oh, that's stupid, it's not going to work. And you should be armed with some knowledge for your own well-being, and also so that you can educate other people, too, about why OMAD is the way to go. And believe me, when they see your weight loss and they see how easy it is and you tell them how easy it is, they're going to want to know more. So let's get into it. One of the first reasons why OMAD works so well is it controls your insulin levels. Right? When you eat something, it doesn't matter what you eat, your insulin levels rise. Okay? Now, if you eat a piece of cake versus a piece of meat, your insulin levels rise at different rates. Obviously, you probably have heard by now that carbohydrates, and particularly sugar, raises your insulin levels quite high versus if you were just having, say, a piece of meat or maybe some leafy green vegetables. Now, with regards to weight loss, a lot of people for years always thought it was the calories in, calories out thing. If you eat too many calories and you don't burn enough calories, then you're going to just have a lot of extra calories hanging around, and it's going to get stored as fat, and that's how you get bigger. And it is true to a certain degree, but it's actually a little bit more complicated than that, and a lot of our weight loss and weight gain in particular is regulated by our hormones, and insulin is one of the key hormones that regulates our weight. Because when your insulin levels are high, you go into fat storage mode. Your body starts storing fat. This is something that even in prehistoric times, our hunter-gatherer ancestors, at the end of harvest season, when fruits and vegetables were in season, they would gorge as much as they could. They didn't really know it at the time, but what would happen was their insulin levels would go up. They would put on a little bit more weight, they would store fat, and that would get them through the lean winter months. So it is a normal process, and when your insulin levels are high, you're going to be storing fat. So yes, it is true if you're eating a lot of sugar, for example, or carbohydrates, you're going to have you're going to have spikes in your insulin. But if you're eating anything really, and you're eating 3, 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 meals a day like the experts want you to, then your insulin levels are constantly going to be spiked. And when your insulin levels are spiked, you're going to be storing fat. And coincidentally too, there's another couple of hormones that are involved in this. One is ghrelin and the other is leptin. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells us that we are hungry. It lets us know when we're actually hungry. It sends a signal to us to eat. And leptin is the hormone that lets us know that we're full and we should stop eating because we've had enough. And coincidentally, when insulin is high and spiked, especially if it's chronically, these two hormones don't really work properly, and the communication kind of breaks down. And you can see how that could be a problem, because you'll be eating more and you won't get the signal that you're full. So, controlling insulin is definitely key if you want to lose some weight. And it's definitely key if you want to get rid of your type 2 diabetes, or if you want to avoid type 2 diabetes altogether. So, that's one of the main benefits of going on OMAD. You have all this, you eat your meal, whatever it is, within a couple of hour periods, say maybe 1 or 2 hours, as many as 4 or 5. I wouldn't go any longer than that. The rest of the day, you are in a fasted state. You're either in a fed state or a fasted state. And as long as you have at least some sort of balance, then you wouldn't be gaining any weight. And insulin, I hope, as you can see now, definitely has a role in how that works. And there's so much more to this that I could probably go on for about an hour, but I don't want to bog you down with a lot of technicalities here. I want to move on so that you can at least get something out of this. So OMAD helps with insulin and helps prevent insulin resistance, which is something you definitely don't want. The second thing OMAD does is it helps us to control our appetite. As I mentioned before, with ghrelin and leptin, these two hormones start working properly. But also, too, I've noticed with me is that it seems like my stomach has shrunk a little bit, and it takes a lot less for me to become full. There's some people, when they go on an OMAD plan, they try and schedule some cheat days, and I'll do a video about that in the coming weeks and months about my opinion on that. And I tried doing that as well in the past, and if I would have a little snack before my meal, once my window opens, I noticed that just from the snack I was almost full, and when it comes time to eat my dinner, I couldn't really eat almost anything. My stomach over the weeks and months of being on OMAD has shrunk enough to where it doesn't take much for me to become full. And with those two hormones working properly, because my insulin is low, then everything is working out fine. So that's the second main reason why OMAD works. And for the third reason is it allows you to access your stored energy for fuel. And what do I mean by this? Your fat. When you're not eating, your body needs energy. It needs energy all the time. So when you're not eating and it doesn't have energy coming in, it has to pull it from somewhere. So the theory is that has been going on for years, is that it will start eating your muscle. This is a lie. This is stupid. It would never happen like that. Because imagine if you were out in the wild and you were out hunting and fishing, whatever, and if foraging, and you didn't get anything today. Well, if your body ate your muscle for energy, then it would be exponentially harder the next time to go out and score anything when you go hunting and fishing, and so on and so forth. Eventually, after about a week, you'd be so weak you couldn't even do anything. You would just wither and die. So it's stupid. Well, the way our bodies work is if we're not getting in food and we still need energy, it will first go to our glycogen stores, which are stored around our body and in our muscles. It's something, a natural process our body does, and it's a nice, easy, quick burn for our body and quick fuel. Then when those go down and you enter in a state known as ketosis, and I'll go into more on that in a later video, your body can now access stored body fat. And it's a much better burn, is energy burn. I'll give you an example. It's like if you have a wood stove at home. If you're burning sugar, it's like putting kindling wood in your stove. Whereas if you're burning fat, it's like having a nice big log in there. You know, the kindling wood just goes up really, really quickly and it gets burnt really fast. Whereas that big log, it takes many hours for it to slowly go down and get a nice, slow, constant heat. And so you get, when you're on OMAD and you're not eating and you don't have food coming in all of the time, it allows you to use your stored body fat, which is what it was there for, and you can use that for energy. And you deplete that stored energy. That's how you lose weight. You become slimmer that way. You're not going to lose body fat if you're eating all day. The minute you get up to the moment you go to sleep, you're constantly snacking and eating, you're not going to lose stored body fat unless, of course, you're doing an extreme amount of exercise, something like to the likes of, say, like Michael Phelps. Excuse me, who I believe the rumor was when he was training for the Olympics was eating something like 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. But this is a guy who was doing probably 12 hours a day of intense exercise, swimming. He was working nonstop, and it wouldn't have mattered what he ate. He would have just burned right through it. But for the average person, that's not the case. So these are the three main reasons why OMAD works and why it works so well. And it stands up to any other diet plan out there. Most of the other diet plans, and I can't say this enough, OMAD is not a diet. It's just a way of eating, because you can eat what you want on OMAD. Obviously, we want to make better choices. And again, I'll do another video on that at some point too. But other diet plans try to put this idea that, hey, it's okay. You as long as you eat the foods that we tell you to, these limited amount of foods, you could eat all day and as much as you want, and you'll lose weight. You won't even gain any weight, and that's just stupid. It's a lie, and it's easy for somebody to try who might think that would work and to fall for that, because to the average person, when you say the D word, diet, they just cringe with the, I have to go on, this binge of not eating as long as I have to give up all these foods. I gotta clean out my cupboard. I gotta have never a piece of cake or bread again. And OMAD is not like that. But I want you to know, and there's a lot of great books out there that discuss a lot of these concepts in further detail. And again, I'll go into more of them as the weeks and months go on, and I'll do some book reviews as well about some of the books that help me understand these key concepts about why this is a great way of living and a great way of eating. Excuse me, a dry throat today. But for now, I just want you to understand that these three concepts. The main one is that it helps to control and reduce your insulin levels and reduce insulin sensitivity. 2, it controls your appetite. And our third one is that it allows you to access stored body fat as fuel, and that is how you collectively lose weight on OMAD. And I really urge you to give it a try and kind of jump right in there. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to leave some questions in the comments or message me privately, and I always answer my mail. And before I go, thinking of that, there is the OMAD Dad group page on Facebook. Just look me up on Facebook, send me a message, and we'll get you in there and get you to join the page. I always post links up of articles or pictures of what I'm eating. And just a great group, and it's a small group, but we're growing. And other than that, don't forget to hit the like button if you like this, and hit the little bell down there to subscribe so that you get notifications whenever I make a new video. I thank you very much, and I hope we see you for the next time. Bye-bye.